All right, guys. So now we're going to talk about the key success factors and core competencies. Core competencies are these the things that organization does so well and could be considered as a competitive advantage because no company is doing everything right. So what they have to do, they have to, outsource, and these are the non-core competencies activities, and ask help from other people. And they would like to focus on their core competencies, and they should focus on the key successful factors for their core competencies. And the key success factor, or KSF, these are activity necessary for a firm to achieve their goals. And this could be significant for a company, so that will help them to survive in the market. Let's take an example of McDonald's. McDonald's, they consider the layout as the KSF, and they, without an effective drive-through or efficient kitchen, they would not succeed in the market. Same thing on the other hand, maybe the core competencies are a set of unique skills, talented, and capability that firms does it at a world-class standard. So this is where we need to consider that the core competencies are these what will help you to identify the key success factors. They allow firms to set itself apart and develop a competitive advantage. So let's, for example, the McDonald's, even they consider the layout as the KSF, it core competency may be consistency and quality. So now there's a slight difference between core competencies and key successful factors. So the key successful factors, these are the things that will help them to reach the core competencies. Let's take a look into the Honda motor core competency is gas powered engines. And these engines for automobiles, motorcycle, lawn mowers, generators, snow blowers, and many more. So the idea to build key SF and core competency is to provide competitive advantage and support successful strategy and mission. And now, in order to be also in more depth and understand the KSF, let's talk about the key performance indicators. And these are the factors that will help organization to define the success and track their progress in meeting their goals. These are basically a measurable, quantified factors that is used to as a measurement tools. Let's take a look into your dashboard of your car, and you will see the dashboard where it says a lot of lights and so on. And the dashboard will give you some signals. And this is the same thing. The KPI is just giving you a signals, a warning message is telling you how you are progressing toward your goal. It is basically showing you trends to demonstrate how improvement you've done over time, or maybe comparing result against standards for other or similar organizations. So for example, we use the number of beds here as a KPI in the ER capacity room, and we found that they are in the green, which is 34 beds. So it's perfect, but they don't want to be in the red sign where they have a lot of patients and a lot of beds has been occupied. So that will give them more difficulty for the workers there, the nurses and the physicians. So they use this as a KPI. Let's go more and see about how we could create the KPI. KPI characteristic should be SMART, which means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Specific, which is focused on the one measure. We need it to be specific, clear, and we don't want anybody to misunderstand, or we don't need any ambiguity in that KPI. We need to be able to measure it, and achievable. We need to be people, when we put the goal, we need to make sure that our team can meet that goal and achieve it, attainable. and relevant. As long as it's related to the mission and vision of the organization, that's perfect. And time bound, which is it is the timeline for the KPI is defined. So this is what we call the SMART goals or the SMART KPI that will help you to build a measurable key performance indicators, and these will help you again to see how you are progressing. There are different kinds of KPIs. One is for process KPI, which is measure the efficiency or productivity of a business, such as time to complete a customer order. So we used how long it will take us to complete a customer order: 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We have to be able to measure it. We have to be specific, and we have to be able to achieve it if we created a goal. The input KPI, which is basically measure assets and resources, such as training, the funds for training. Output KPI could be measure the financial and non-financial results of business activities, such as the net profit or number of clients. And you could have more of these based on the environment, based on the business. You could define your KPI based on what your goal is. So, for example, here we did say we used the minutes as the measurement unit, and we said arrival to bid, we needed to be target is 20 minutes. Right now we are at 25 minutes. For arrival nurses, we needed to be 40 minutes, but right now we are at 45, so we need to reduce that time. Arrival to physician, that is the target is 60. Right now it's 83 minutes. Arrival to discharge, our target to be 100 minutes, but right now is 137. So what we do, first of all, we establish the timeline. What is the current status? What we do now, we measure our performance, how we're doing, and then set the target. What is the target that we need to move on? And then measure and see after you do implement the work, see if you achieved the goal or not. And this is important. It's not a direct measure of quality. The KPI, it's just a sign, a warning sign to tell you how are you close to your target and what you need to do if you are far away from the target. So compare performance across geographical location. For example, we need to compare the sales of the South versus the sales in the North. Benchmark performance against regional and international peers or norms, so we could compare ourselves with our competitors. Allow stakeholders to see how the organization perform. KPIs are also specific, has to be specific and measurable, where it could be used to assess the quality of the service. Okay, now how long will it take you to get the food in a restaurant? That maybe could be considered as a part of the quality of the service. KPI is a measure of performance as well, based on the standard that determined through evidence-based, or maybe based on the literature, or based on the expert judgment. This is how you establish the standards. And again, this is not also a dangerous thing. It's just a warning that will tell you what you need to do to reach your goal. And if you are not able to reach your goal, what you have as a manager, you have to create a list of actions that will help you to create your goal. So now let's see, where are we in the pyramid. Now we created the mission and vision right here. We used the strategy to meet that, and then we created some objectives. Which is the unit strategy. We identify some critical success factor, and then key performance indicators, and then some initiatives to help us to do and achieve the indicators. So now I hope you have the bigger picture in your mind, where you start with the SWOT analysis to create the mission and vision of the company. Then you create the strategy, and then once you create the strategy, you go down to create some goals and objectives for each subdivision, which is based on the mission of their company, and then focus on what's your core competencies, select the key performance indicators to do the measurement, and then do some improvement, key action initiatives. These are some of the things that we could do. One of the things that I want to talk about it is the balanced score card. Another business or management strategy that we use to understand the situation. But I'm going to leave it for another video. So I'll see you in another video. Thank you.